Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm here to tell you about all the things that I have been loving this quarter. At the beginning of this year, I started doing quarterly favorites videos where I share all of my favorite things from 10 different categories: reading, listening, watching, wearing, cooking, planning, pampering, cleaning, doing, and loving. So let's start with the reading category. I have 2 books to talk about this quarter. If you follow my weekly vlogs, it will be no surprise to you that these are my 2 favorite books from this quarter. In fact, as of the time I'm filming this video, I'm not actually done with either of them, but I am far enough along in both of them that I know that they are incredibly valuable and books that I will go back to reference for years to come. So let's start with the first one, which is So You Want to Talk About Race. I decided to make this the first book that I started with when it came to reading about race and being an anti-racist and all the things that I needed to learn. And I know that I needed to learn, and I couldn't be happier that I started with this one because she breaks it down so well and teaches you in a way that you understand. Like, she is the epitome of that phrase, meet your audience where they're at. Like, she knows who she's talking to, and it works, absolutely works. I have learned so many things from this book, and I've gone back to reference it so many times. Like, someone will say something and I flip through this book because 9 times out of 10, there's a chapter in this book about that exact topic. So if you don't know where to start, I highly recommend this book. Again, this is gonna be one of those resources that is going to sit on my shelf, and I'm going to have it as a resource and as a reference point for years to come. The second book is The Lazy Genius Way, and the same thing here where she meets you where you're at. She is teaching you knowing where you're at, and she's teaching you concepts that help you apply it to your own personal life because she knows everybody's life is different. How many self-help books do you read where they're like, you need to do this exact thing, this exact day, and blah, 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 and you're like, that doesn't work for my life. She knows that that's not how it works. And so the way that she's written this book is she's created these principles that you can apply to any aspect of your life, and you can pick and choose which ones are going to work best for you. You can mix them together, you can take just one, and she says that, like, I don't know, it works really well. I have been following her for a while. I love her podcast, The Lazy Genius Podcast, and I pre-ordered this book back in like June, and I'm obsessed with it. I know I'm gonna read it more than once, and again, this is one of those books that I'm going to reference whenever I feel like I'm struggling with something, whenever I feel like I can't figure something out. This is where I'm gonna go. And she knew that that's what people were gonna do, which is why she did a hardcover book, because she knew that this was going to be an ongoing resource for people. All right, the next category is listening, and I reserve this category for really anything I'm listening to. It could be music or it could be a podcast, and I actually have one of each for you this quarter. So we'll start with music, and the first one is a Pandora station that I started when we drove down here. So I actually started this Pandora station. It was still Q2 because it was at the end of May, beginning of June. But I have perfected it since we've been down here, and I listen to it. It's my new shower playlist. I listen to it every time I take a shower. And it is based off of Disney Channel original movies. So you've got the Cheetah Girls, you've got High School Musical, all of those like Disney classic, Disney Channel original movies. I have a Pandora playlist that I have perfected, and I love it. It makes me so happy. It's just nostalgic, and I dance and sing, and it's just one of my favorite things. The podcast that I've been loving this quarter, in addition to all my other podcasts, okay? In Q1, I listed every podcast on my podcast app, and I still listen to all of those. I'm behind on a few of them, but I am still very much like, those are also podcasts that I love and listen to. What I'm sharing with you now is a new podcast I added this quarter, which is called Flow with Berry on Berry, and I love her. I started following her on Instagram a few months ago as a recommendation from a friend who also runs her own business, and I was talking to her about cycle syncing. I've mentioned this a few places, how I really want to learn more about cycle syncing and lining up the actions that you take each month with where you're at in your cycle and your energy levels and your hormone levels, and eating the right things and doing all the right things that your body needs at different times of the month. And so my friend recommended that I started following Berry on Instagram, and so I did, and I loved her. I just fell in love with her energy and her vibe, her dancing, and I just love everything about her. And I started listening to her podcast, and I am not caught up yet, but I love it. I love her podcast. She is like, gives to the point, factual, here's what's happening in your body, and here are the things that I found to help you. She also tests everything. She tests out all the things so that she can share with you what works best. knowing full well that what works for her might not work for you, but she shares her experiences on a lot of different tools and just, it's great. I also signed up for her online course. I have not completed it as of the time that I'm filming this video, but for a free resource, I highly recommend her podcast. All right, the next category is watching, and I have 3 things to share with you that I have watched or am watching as of the time I'm filming this. The first one is called Snowpiercer, and it was on TNT. So if you don't have cable, I don't know that you're gonna be able to find it. If you do have cable, you should be able to find it on demand, but it is a futuristic dystopian society. It's actually based on a movie that is kind of old. It was like 10 years old. Don't watch the movie. I do not recommend the movie. That is not a favorite. We watched it, not good. The show that came out in March, fantastic. Highly recommend it. I think it was maybe 10, 12 episodes. I don't remember how many episodes. We watched it at the very beginning of this quarter, but it's great. If you love dystopian society, if you love like criminal shows too, like SVU and like those kinds of shows, it's also got a good bit of that. So it's kind of like if those 2 things met, which is like my dream show. Another show that we watched the first season of that I also can't wait for season 2 is called The Morning Show. Now this is on Apple TV, like Apple TV's, it's Apple's new streaming service, okay? I can't believe we have another streaming service, and I'm not telling you to go pay for Apple TV. But if you have bought an Apple product, you or somebody you know has bought an Apple product in the past year, you get a free year of Apple TV, okay? So hopefully you can find somebody that has bought an Apple product and you get a free year of Apple TV and then go watch The Morning Show. It is Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell, in a drama role. I'm used to him just doing comedy, but it is great. It's a drama. I mean, it made me laugh at times, but it's really a drama about people that do the morning show. And it is a lot about the Me Too movement as well. So if that's something that you don't like to watch content on, then I don't recommend it for you. I just want to give you that warning right now. But I thought it was a great show, and again, can't wait for season 2. The other thing that I've been watching by myself, not with Sam, the other 2 I watched with Sam, is Degrassi. I found it, I didn't find it. I saw on Facebook, a friend of mine from high school posted about it on Facebook, and I was like, well, where are you watching it? And he was like, oh, it's another free streaming service. This one's free. Again, so many streaming services. It's called Tubi, T-U-B-I, and they have a million seasons of Degrassi. I'm not through it because this is just what I watch when I'm like by myself and I'm not in the mood to listen to a podcast because I don't want any information. Sometimes it's like while I'm getting ready for bed, or you know, I just don't want that much information in my brain at that point. It's kind of my like relaxed show. So that's what I've been loving this quarter. Okay, the next category is wearing, and because we still haven't really gone anywhere, all of the things that I've said in the past 2 quarters still hold true in terms of things that I love to wear. Q1 was all about like comfy, relaxing clothes, and then Q2 were my swimsuits. This quarter, I'm gonna talk about this dress. And not because I've been wearing it places, but because I've never talked about it as a favorite. But if you follow me anywhere, you know that it is, because I wear it all the time. So this dress is from Draper James, and I started renting it when I was doing Rent the Runway Unlimited back last fall, and I rented it and I fell in love with it. And so when I decided to cancel Rent the Runway Unlimited, I decided to keep this dress. And the reason it's a favorite this quarter is because we went and got our engagement photos taken, and I wore this dress and I just forgot how much I love it. And I love that it is documented in our engagement photos and photos that we're gonna look at for years to come. All right, the next category is cooking, and really it's just anything in the kitchen. You know, cooking just went with the ING theme. So if you watch my weekly vlogs, you know what my favorite kitchen kind of related thing is this quarter. It is the world's largest water bottle. This water bottle, you don't realize how big it is until you have it in your hand. I mean, you can look at it head for scale, but really everybody that has ordered it doesn't realize it until they get it, how big it actually is. It is a gallon, it is 128 ounces, and I'm obsessed with it. This has made all the difference. Now, I will tell you, it does have a straw inside of it, but I don't use the straw. I don't drink actually out of this thing because I love my water cold. So what I do is each morning, I fill it all the way up to the 7 a.m. line, and then I fill up my water cup with ice all the way to the top, and then throughout the day, I just pour it from here into here until I get all the way to the bottom. And what I love about it is it allows me to track how far I am and how much more water I need to drink today to get to my goal without having to track like how many of those cups have I had today and how many times have I filled it up. And I can just see that like it's this time and I'm not there yet, and it motivates me to keep going. Now, I don't get to the bottom every day, if I'm being honest with you, but it has made me drink so much more water than I was drinking before. So much. It's also made me go to the bathroom so much more often. All right, the next category is planning. And again, if you have watched any of my other videos, these two things should not be a surprise to you. And that is my Plum Paper Daily and my Golden Coil Health Planners. Both of these planners have their own separate videos. I have a whole video walking through my Plum Paper Daily and planning every single day. And then I have a whole video going through my Golden Coil Health Planner. So if you wanna see the insides and more of these, I highly recommend just go watch those two videos. But these are definitely my two favorite planning tools from this quarter. This daily in particular has made such a difference. I love having a daily that is coiled with good paper, that is just, oh, I just love it. The only thing I don't love about it, if I'm gonna make one complaint of something I don't love about it, is I'm so sick of green, okay? Because July and August are both green and I'm just ready to move on to September. Right as of the time I'm filming this, it's not even September yet. I am ready for teal because I just can't deal with the green. And the complaint really is not necessarily about the colors, but about the fact that you can't get the small daily in a neutral color right now. So Plum Paper does have a neutral color scheme, but you have to get the larger size planner to get the neutral, and that's kind of a bummer. So it's not gonna keep me from using this planner, and I'm definitely gonna order a new one for 2021 because this is a 6-month planner, so it ends in December, but I love it. All right, the next category is pampering. And again, if you watch the weekly vlogs, this should probably come at no surprise to you. But my favorite thing that I've been loving in terms of like personal care this month has been my nail system. So I started using Dazzle Dry. I don't remember when, but I was looking for a better way to do my nails at home, but not have to do them as often because I chip my nails and I pick them apart very frequently. And so I needed a way to do them at home. And I have ordered and received a dip kit, but I have not had the nerve to do it yet, so I'm waiting on that. But what I've been loving about Dazzle Dry is two things. One, how long it lasts and doesn't chip. And if you watch my vlogs, I've shared it. For me, it usually lasts about 7 days before one nail chips. And then if I can just fix that nail, I can usually push it another couple of days before I have to do the whole set over again. And 7 days is great. I mean, it's not as long as when I go get a gel manicure from the salon, but it's better than regular polish. For me, I couldn't get regular polish to last more than 2 or 3 days on my nails, truthfully. So it's better than that. And the other benefit is it dries so freaking fast. So when I do them, like I don't have to worry about going to do something else afterwards because it dries so quickly. So it is pricey, I will give you that, but they have sales all the time. So if you are interested in trying it out, just follow them on social media, sign up for their email list, and wait for a sale. Because I've ordered multiple times at this point to have multiple colors and I've never paid full price. The other tip I will give you about it, which I said in the vlog when I talked about it, is go watch this YouTube channel where she does sample colors on her nails before you buy, because sometimes the color on the screen and the color in person are not quite the same. So go watch her channel and I'll link it below and you can see the colors on her nails before you actually buy. Okay, the next category is cleaning, and this category is really just more for household items that I've been loving, but this quarter, it's actually cleaning supplies. And I think it's funny because one of my goals this year was to establish a cleaning routine, and that was gonna be my Q3 goal until we came down here, and then it wasn't. And not that I haven't had to clean down here, but the cleaning routine was really meant to be more for our apartment, and so I wasn't going to establish a cleaning routine at a different house that was much bigger than the apartment I actually have to clean. But what has really worked out is that while I've been down here, I have discovered some cleaning products that I absolutely love. Last quarter, I talked about the sponge mop that I love, which at first I didn't think I could use in New York, but thanks to you, I found out that not only can I get a collapsible bucket so that I can have a mop, I can also use a sponge mop on hardwood floors. I just have to it can't be sopping wet. So super helpful. You're the best. The two products I had to talk about this month, you've probably heard of them before, but I've fallen in love with them. And once I get back to my own apartment, I am for sure buying them. The first one is this glass cleaner. So it's Spray Away World's Best Glass Cleaner Foaming Action. Holy moly, I'm never buying Windex ever again. This stuff leaves the mirror like sparkly perfect. I don't understand, but I'm obsessed with this stuff. Like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but this stuff works so well, and I cannot recommend it more, and I can't wait to own it in my own apartment. The second one is this Method Granite Cleaner, and I know people have been talking about this Method brand for years, and I've never purchased it because I don't ever see it in stores. I think you have to order it online. Honestly, I haven't figured out where to buy these two things yet, but I will try to figure them out and link them for you below. But This stuff, it's not even about getting the granite countertops clean. I love the way it smells. I am obsessed with the way that it smells. I'm actually excited to clean the countertop after dinner every night because this stuff smells so good. At home, we just use like a generic like cleaning spray, like whatever, all-purpose cleaning spray. Oh, this stuff is amazing, and I cannot wait to go home and clean my own granite countertops, even though there is way less counter space to clean back in New York than there is down here. All right, the next category is doing, and this is reserved for a new habit that I have implemented this quarter that I've been loving. And the thing I'm gonna talk about is not really a habit, but it's a tool that has really helped me with my habits. And again, you watch the weekly vlogs, none of these things should be a surprise to you, but this one in particular is called Routine Meister, and it is an app that I have been loving working on my morning and my evening routines with. I did upgrade to the paid version, but it was worth every penny because I've been using it every single day, multiple times a day. And I'm thinking about doing a video just on Routine Meister because I've figured out some ins and outs about things that work for me, but it is just on Apple right now. That's kind of what's holding me back. And I know that Android users have found, I'm not sure actually if it's Routinery or Routinely. I've heard both, but one of those two, Android users have found that's very similar, but it's not exactly the same. So I feel like I don't really want to do a whole video on just an app that only iOS users can use, but man, has this app made a huge, huge difference in my life this quarter. And the last category is loving. And this is just reserved for any random thing that I've been loving this quarter that doesn't fall into any of these other categories. And this should come as no surprise to you, but I have been loving my patrons. I cannot express how much I love connecting with you and seeing you achieve things and seeing you grow and accomplish your goals. It's so rewarding. And with the Patreon, I just feel like I've been able to connect so much more with these women, and it's just been incredible. It's been my absolute favorite thing about this quarter. It's been like, I wish I'd done it sooner. That's how I know that I made the right decision, and I am excited about the future of it because all I keep saying is I wish I'd done it sooner. But I know that everything happens for a reason, and I did it in the right time for whatever that purpose is, and it's working, and I'm excited for all of them. If you want more information, I will leave it linked down below, but that's the thing that I've been really loving this quarter. All right, that is it. Those are all the things that I have been loving this quarter. Let me know down in the comments, is there anything in any of those categories that you have been loving this quarter that you just wanna shout from the rooftops and tell everybody about? This is the one video where I like for us to enable each other, not necessarily because we need to go buy things, but a lot of these things are things that they help me achieve my goals. And that's why I like sharing them with you, because they help, whether it's my water goal or my cleaning goals or whatever it is, all of these things help me achieve my goals. The nail product helps me save time because I'm not doing my nails every 2 days. Like everything that I share here is not because I think you should go buy these things, but because they've helped me achieve my goals, and I hope that they might help you achieve yours as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. That help you applied it to law, mystery, what's the word? Of course, my camera is gonna die right in the middle of it. It's called, they'll know what it is, like. And I started renting it from Rent the Run. Oh my God, why can't I say that word? Now, both of these videos, it's not what I meant. When I was getting my gel nails. Why does the washer randomly make noise when I'm trying to film?